Hi everyone, I'm an activist, writer. My job is to try and convince people, try and get people on board. I think what Professor Neil said is the most important thing of all, though everyone here has fired me up, because I think everybody's trying to do their bit to, you know, get awareness up there. But I think what he said about the fact that once you plant that seed and you get someone thinking, right, 9/11 was perhaps an inside job, you said that no one ever turns back. And I think that's what we've all got to try and do. If everyone in here can get one person planting their seed, what happens is you will help everyone in here who has just spoke, because it will get more people on board all the time. And I think I've developed a way of doing it. Just recently I went on holiday and I spoke to about 9 people, and 8 of them, I got them thinking. And I did it without sort of getting into any detail. As soon as 9/11 came up, I tried to get them to mention it first. It's never good bringing it up if you can help it. Just let them talk about it. And then you start saying bits and pieces, little things. And what I try to end up saying is that, well, I don't know about, because what do you find that every time you sort of talk about 9/11, you're trying to convince people, what actually happens is you end up being called a conspiracy theorist. So I've tried to develop a way of counteracting that. And when I sort of say my bit, they say to me, oh, you're one of the conspiracy theorists. And I say, no, I don't know about any conspiracy theories. I don't know about all that at all. But what I do know is what my eyes saw. And on that day, those buildings, the way they came down as if it was a controlled demolitions. I don't know what anything else. But I saw 2 controlled demolitions. What did you see? I give them, what did you see? And I said, one thing I do know is when they bring down those Las Vegas hotels, they won't be flying any planes into them. Yeah. You know, I tell them, just, you know, put on video these Las Vegas hotels coming down, and then watch the Twin Towers come down. Tell me what the difference is. I don't know about these conspiracy theories, just keep it simple. Once you start going into detail, I find people get turned off straight away. So what I do is I plant a seed, because like the Professor says, it's no use. I don't like talking to people about 9/11 that already know 9/11 was an inside job. There's no point. I want to convince one more person. Can you imagine if everybody in here convinced one person every month, what that would do? And we could do it. We could easily do it, because we don't need any more evidence. You don't need it. All we have to do, the main thing we need to do, is spread awareness. Get the perpetrators in the dock. We don't need any more. There's mountains of evidence already, I feel. So what I try and end off with a question. What did you see? I saw controlled demolitions. And see what happens. You just leave them, let them think about it. And you find that this works a treat. Once you go into detail, once you get involved in arguments, forget it. You're wasting energy. And the last thing we need to do is waste time and energy. If you're with a no-hoper that just doesn't want to know, snip it off at the bud. Go on, next please. That's the way to do it. Yeah. I don't know how you feel about that. Is that okay? I just wanted to stick my 2 pennies worth in. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, exactly. How do you do it when you meet some hardcore believers in the official narrative? I have another trick, which I'll be happy to give away. If you are with somebody who really believes in the official story, then may I ask you 2 questions? Yes, you may. So now you play the role of, okay, so I ask, do you believe that America was attacked by 19 young Muslims under the guidance of Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda on September 11, 2001?
Of course, that's what the official report.
Why?
Well, the 9/11 Commission. I saw it. The man on the news told me that They were all terrorists.
This man is in trouble, isn't he? you just wait. I've done this on a panel discussion in Swedish television, and the thing that the show started, and because just why do you believe that? And they go blank. Well, Osama bin Laden has admitted that he doesn't know he did X, and you go from there.
No.
There is no
Just very briefly on just following on what the gentleman was saying about just gradually sowing the seed and opening people's minds. I just want to talk about or mention the name of Rupert Sheldrake, who's a Cambridge biologist that's done work in the field of consciousness. And what he has discovered and proved with other people, he's proved through experiments with rats, that if you teach a group of rats a procedure, and a trick if you like, in one place, it affects the ability of rats in another place, in another country, in similar conditions. It's increased somehow, as if by magic, but it's a consciousness thing. These other rats, at a distance, their consciousness in some way changes so that when if you try to teach them the same trick, they learn it more quickly. Now look it up, Rupert Sheldrake is his name. He's a Cambridge biologist who has proved this. So again, it's this snowball effect that as people's minds start to change, as they learn this new paradigm, it's actually magically, as it were, but it's science, it's been proved, it affects other people's ability to learn the same thing.
If they want to have monkeys